actual required information from the static variables is what? How we are going to access static variables. That is the main point what I require. To move on to the advanced Java concepts, what I require from static variable, how it is possible to access static variable by using class name, by using reference variable. If it is a current class variable, without using any reference variable and keyword, and without using any by using this keyword, we can access it. Okay, mainly class name is always suggestible to access the static variable. What is always suggestible? No, class name. Remember this point clearly. Okay, leave it. Next one is what? Static method. Alright, son. It is a Java method. Static method is what there? It is a Java method. It will be recognized. It will be recognized and executed. It will be recognized and executed. In general, static variables are recognized and initialized at the time of loading the respective class bytecode. In the same way, people are going to understand static methods are going to be recognized and executed at the time of loading class bytecode to the memory. But this is wrong. This is what? Wrong. Of course, this method might be recognized at load time, but not executed at load time. This method is ready at the time of loading class bytecode, but not executed directly. Understand my point, Ken? But the point here, what I am telling there, it will be recognized and executed the moment when we access that method. But method is ready at load time only. Then after that, we can access it. When we access it, then only it will be executed. So that's why in a single statement, what I given there, it is a Java method. It will be recognized and executed the moment when we access that method. Not automatic execution. As per the method call only, that method is going to be executed. Got it or not? This is point number one. Next one is after that, you have to carefully. Static methods are able to allow only static members of the current class directly. Static methods are able to allow only static members of the current class directly. Static methods will not allow, static methods will not allow the instance variables directly, instance members directly. It will not allow instance members directly. There is a loophole. What is that loophole? No, static methods will not allow the instance members directly. But if you want to access instance members inside the static method, then we must create object for the respective class, and we must use the generated reference variable. Then only we are able to access instance members inside the static methods. Please read out this statement here, what I have given now. Please all of you know, understand this statement, what I have given. Static methods are able to allow only static members of the current class directly. Static methods are unable to allow or will not allow the instance members directly. Instance members of the current class are not allowed inside the static methods. But if we want to access instance members inside the static method, then we must create an object for the respective class and we must use the generated reference variable. Don't worry, I will show this point also in practical. Understand the point first now, then after we will see on system here. All right, this is one point. Next one is point number 3. Observe carefully. How we are going to access the static methods in Java applications, not only in the case of static variables, not only in the case of static method, wherever we find the static keyword that we can access either by using class name or by using the reference variable of the respective class. In these two ways, we are able to access the static members. Understand it clearly. So in Java applications, static methods are accessed in the following three ways. What are the 3 ways of accessing the static members there? First one is by using the respective class name directly, by using the respective class name directly. Then after that, another thing is like what there, by using the respective class name directly, by using the respective class reference variable, either by using class name or by using the respective class reference variable. Next one is by using this keyword, or no reference variable and no this keyword, if the static method is the current class method, by using this keyword or no reference variable and no this keyword, if the static method is a current class method, if the method is a current class method, either we can use this keyword or without this keyword or without reference variable, we can access like what their current class static method. These are overall 3 approaches to access what their static method. Next one is point number 4. Listen, this point is a bit difficult, but try to understand it clearly. I'll give the point to you clearly. Sir, on every point you are saying the same statement. This is important. This is important. First of all, tell me which one is important. But concepts are available like this. What I have to do? No? All are important only. That's why Java is very, very important. Overall. Fine. Put more concentration. Any Java applications, static methods are not allowing this keyword in their implementations or in their body. Come again, what's the point I said to you? In Java applications, static methods are not allowing this keyword in their body. In the implementation, in their implementations, I'm telling you, in their implementations. But it is possible to use, this keyword to access the current class static method from some other method. But it is possible to access static method. But it is possible to use this keyword to access the current class static method from some other method. I'll forget my point or not? Right, sir. Next one is point number 5. Clear? Can I move forward? Can I go for the point number 5? Or the fourth point here I've given there? Observe carefully. In Java applications, static methods are not allowing this keyword in their body. Whenever I'm giving these points, no, at least imagine the code internally. When I'm giving one point here, immediately we have to imagine something in our mind that we have to feel. Then only we can understand the point. No, blindly your eyes are reading the statement in the sense nothing is going to be happen. When you read this statement, we have to imagine some code internal in our mind. Then only we can improve our coding part. If you're not having thoughts on it, there is a total waste of time. Understand what's the point I'm telling you, right? Let's move to the point here. For example, final example I'm telling you, this is an actual problem with the students nowadays. No client will give the total coding part as a requirement to you. No client will say to you, code is available, just type it on a system. No, nobody will say that. Client will give the requirement sets in this theoretical manner only, in the form of paras only, that we have to analyze, that we have to create a program. Means when you read the statements, immediately the program you must get in your mind. Then only you're the right person there. I get my point. For example, somebody else wants to give a treat for you. He said to you, I want to give a biryani party. Then immediately we are having a dream song on biryani or not? Definitely, yeah. In your mind, you are getting some imagination or not? The color of the biryani, then how many like pieces, then what next one here? Apart from this, some kind of items along with the biryani, right? You are getting some dream or not? Why you are not having dream on Java? No, that's the problem. That's why you are lagging in Java. Whenever we want to go for movie, immediately we are getting imagination. But about Java, you are not getting imagination. Feel it. Definitely will get some thought in our mind. Understand it, Get? That thought will improve your thought path. What I'm telling you now. Understand my point? The thought will improve your coding part. If you get the thought, then you can implement it in our system. Understand it, Get? Typing the program is a hardware mechanism. Brain has to give instructions to you. Then we are going to type it. But first of all, get information in our mind. That the thought is very, very important. Right, now tell me, what's the point I said to you? In Java applications, immediately Java program, then what we have to get? Static method. Okay, method with the static keyword. What next one? Not allowing this keyword. Okay, not allowing this keyword where? In their body, in their implementation. In the body of the static method, this keyword is not allowed. Then what I said, but it is possible to use this keyword to access the current class method. Might have been some other method is a static method. Now we are at some other method. From this method, I want to call static method. There I can use what keyword? This keyword. That's it. That's a simple point here I'm telling you. All right, sir. Next one is similarly, we have to think about it. Similarly, what we have to do now? In Java applications, if we access any instance method, immediately what is your thought there? It should not be a static, normal method, instance method. If we access an instance method by using a reference variable that contains a null value, immediately what you have to get in your mind there? A small a is equal to null. A dot m1 method. M1 method is what there? Instance method. Then the JVM, what it will provide there? Will rise an exception. Will rise an exception like what there? What is this exception? Can know Java dot lang dot null pointer exception. That's the point here. In Java applications, if you access any instance method by using a reference variable that contains null value, then the JVM will raise an exception like Java dot lang dot null pointer exception. But what's the point here I'm telling there? Now in the comparison I'm telling now. Now we need to talk about static method. But if we access any static method by using a reference variable, first of all tell me, is it possible to access any static method by using reference variable? Possible or not possible? Yes, it is possible. If we access any static method by using a reference variable that contains null value, then the JVM will not raise any exception like what there? Java dot lang dot null pointer exception. That's it. This is a point here we have to understand. All right, sir. So these are almost all the points what we are having about the static method. Now in Java applications, if you access any instance method by using a reference variable that contains null value, then JVM will raise an exception like Java dot lang dot null pointer exception. But if you access any static method by using a reference variable that contains null value, then the JVM will not raise any exception like Java dot lang dot null pointer exception. Right. Overall, what points can we understood there? Just one time, try to understand it now. What is the first point I have given there? In a Java method, it is a Java method. Static method is a Java method. It will be recognized and executed the moment when we access that method. But internally, what I am telling there, that method is ready at the time of loading the class bytecode. It is ready in the sense we can access at any time. At the time of loading a bytecode, we can access it. After creating object also, we can access the respective method. Understand my point here? But it should be ready. It would be ready at the time of loading the class bytecode. Leave it now. Static methods are able to allow only static members of the current class directly. Static methods will not allow the instance members directly. But if we want to access the instance members inside the static method, then we must create an object for the respective class and we must use the generated reference variable. Clear information? In Java application, static methods are accessed in the following three ways. What are the three ways now? By using the respective class name directly, by using the respective class reference variable directly. That reference variable may or may not have the reference value. May have reference value, it's okay, well and good, object is created. May not have reference value in the sense null value is available, object is not created. The same point I have given. Next point now. By using this keyword or no reference variable or no reference variable, no this keyword, if the static method is the current class method. Either we can use this keyword or without this keyword or without any reference variable, we can access the current class static method. Next one is, in Java application, static methods are not allowing this keyword in their body, but this keyword is used to access the current class static method from some other method. In Java applications, if we access any instance method by using a reference variable that contains null value, then JVM will raise an exception like java.lang.nullPointer exception. But if we access the static method by using a reference variable that contains null value, the JVM will not provide any exception like java.lang.nullPointer exception. Let's see the coding part here. The same, whatever the points here we understood, almost all each and every point here I'm going to discuss with you. Try to understand it clearly. Right, sir. Now, understand the point here, what I have given. First of all, let me remove this total program here. First of all, here, what I want to show there. Now, class A. What you are having there, class A. Inside the class A, I want to declare with a static void M1 method. System.out.println of M1A. Let me access this point here, or else maybe this is a static method. I want to access this method here. A small a is equal to new a object I created. A dot M1 method. M1 method here we can access. Have you got any compilation error? No compilation error, but we got a warning message. We got a warning message. What's that message here? No, the static method M1 from the type A should be accessed in a static way, but not in an instance way. Just it is a suggestion only. Warning message is what there. Take it as an information. That's it. It is not a mistake. It is not a mistake. It is a suggestion. That's it. All right, sir. Now A.M1. Next one is what there. Capital A.M1. Have you got any compilation error? No compilation error. But we are not getting any suggestion. We are not getting any suggestion. I think I forgot that point here. What was the point here? I have to provide there. Now observe carefully. Now here I'm going to provide a note. What is that note here? In Java applications, always it is suggestible to access static methods by using the class name. By using the class name. All right, sir. All of you understand it, what I'm telling to you? In Java applications, it is always suggestible to access static methods by using what their class name when compared with reference variable, when compared with no reference variable, no variable. Right, there's a punch here. The same thing we are getting in the content here. Okay, fine. Finally, we accessed this static method or not? Yes, we are getting output like what there, M1A and M1A. Output here we are getting. Okay, this point is okay, fine. Next one is, for example, int I is equal to 10 we are getting. Int I is equal to 10. What is this variable actually? Is it an instance variable or static variable? Instance variable. Now system.out.println of I. Then here what we are getting there? Error we are getting. Read this error here. What we are getting? No, cannot make a static reference to the non-static field I. It internally means that this variable is an instance variable that cannot be used inside the static method directly. It's okay, fine. Next one is what? After this, static int j is equal to 20. Another variable here we provided. Now anyway here we are getting error here. Now observe carefully. System.out.println of j. When we access j, have we got any compilation error? No compilation error in the case of j. In the case of I only we are getting compilation error. There I'm giving clarity. Here we are getting what there? Error. That's okay, fine. Clear, all of you know? But still my requirement is what? I want to access the I variable. I want to access what there? I variable. Alright, sir. Then how we are going to access this I variable here? Only one possibility. Create an object for the respective class and use the generated reference variable. Create object for the respective class and use the generated reference variable. Then only we are able to access that particular variable. Now here, what I am going to do there, a small a is equal to a. Same class object we are creating in the same class method. It's mandatory if you want to access the instance members. System dot, that means a small a is equal to new a. Now here, what we are going to do there, system.out.println of a dot I. Have you got any compilation error? Are you getting any compilation error? No compilation error. This is a solution here we have to identify. This is exactly the solution here we have to provide. We are getting there clearly. That's okay, fine. Now, 2 times we are executing the program. In both the times here we are going to get outputs. M18 2010, M18 2010. That output here we are getting clearly. Fine, sir. This is okay, fine. Next one is off for this. Right, sir. A dot I here we have used it. J variable is what variable? J variable is what variable? Static variable. Now I'm asking a question to you. Now try to answer for it. Is it possible to access a static variable by using this keyword? Is it possible to access a static variable by using this keyword in the current class? Oh, yeah, already given that point, you know. Huh? That's it. I think you are not remembering the points clearly. Just it's a fashion show. Directly you are coming to the class, you are leaving from the class. That's it. Yesterday I made this statement, but today you forgotten this statement. Let's start advanced Java once again now. Or else core Java once again. Java history is decided now. No. Then see on that particular if I give some points now, you must remember and we have to give that information there. Otherwise, what is the requirement to discuss about these many concepts in prerequisite now? As a waste of time. Directly, why don't we start JDBC? Remember the points here. What I'm telling you. This time is excuse. But next onwards, I said to you already, KGF machine gun only. Otherwise, animal machine gun, right? Fine. Team by team, they will come, no, right? Hero is single, right? Firing, total firing. Fine. Listen carefully. So now the point is what we can access static variable by using what keyword? This keyword. All right. Observe carefully. Now, system.out.println of this dot j. Possible or not possible? We can access a static variable by using keyword, this keyword. But static methods are not allowing this keyword in their body. Static methods are not allowing this keyword in their body. M1 is a method, it is a static method. Inside the static method, I am trying to use what there? This keyword. There we are getting what there? Error. Here we are getting error message. We can identify this clearly. Here we are getting what there? Error message. No, it is not possible here. What is the error here we are getting there? No, cannot use this in a static context. This keyword is not required to use here in this case. That's why here we are getting what there? Error. Now, observe carefully. So, this keyword is not allowed in the static method body. Okay, fine. Void M2 method here I am taking. What is this M2 method, sir? Is it a static method or an instance method? Instance method, not a static method. Okay, fine. Now here we can say like what there system.out.println of M2A. That information here we have taken. Next one is I want to call M1 method. Current class methods directly we can access, no issues. Current class methods we can access directly, no issues. At the same time, we can use this keyword also to access the current class methods. We can use what keyword here? This keyword also to access current class methods. Now observe carefully, it is giving some information there. No warning message is okay, but possibility is available. We can access current class static methods by using this keyword from some other method. But in the body of the static methods, we are unable to use what? This keyword. In the body of the static method, we are unable to use this keyword, but we can access current class static method from some other method by using this keyword. There's a proof here we can identify this dot M1 method. But this dot M1 method here we are getting what there? Just we are getting a warning message. That warning is not giving any impact in our program execution. Right, sir? Now it's okay. Now it is completed here. After this, I want to call M2 method here. I want to call A dot M2 method. I want to call this. So automatically we are able to get some outputs. Outputs here we are getting almost 3 times we are getting same output. Why? Because 3 times we are calling with different approaches. No? All right, sir. Now this also be completed. One more point here I'm telling you. Observe carefully. A1 is equal to null. A1 is equal to null. Observe carefully. M2 method is what method? Instance method or static method? Instance method. Now A1 dot M2 method. Tell me what we are able to get here. If we access an instance method by using a reference variable that contains null value, there JVM will raise an exception like java.lang.null pointer exception. Now see this one. Java.lang.null pointer exception cannot invoke a.m2 because a1 value is what there null. Right, sir. Now here I need to be specific. This is like what there exception, null pointer exception here we are getting. Null pointer exception. A1 dot M1 method. M1 method is what? Static method. Is it possible to access static method? Is it possible to access static method by using a reference variable that contains null value? As possible. Okay, now we are not going to get any exception. Null pointer exception is not going to be available there, where output we are getting clearly. Right or not? So null pointer exception is possible for only instance variables and instance methods. Null pointer exception is not applicable for what? Static methods and static variables. That's now this is a simple program what you are getting clearly. Let us understand this program. Already we understood every point of this program here. All right, try to practice one time at your home, then we are able to get much clarity about like what there, that is static method topic clearly. Right, sir, only I require basics only. I don't require too much internal content here. From this total discussion, what I require the content now. How we are able to access static method, only that point here I required. How it is possible to access static method, only that one I required. Apart from that, we are not having any other requirement. Got it or not? Right, sir. Leave this punch here. Apart from this, what next one here we are doing there? Another concept now. Static blocks. Next topic. Static blocks. Clear? Yes, sir. All of you okay now? Fine. Put more concentration. The static blocks is getting some points from static variable and some other points from static method. 2 to 3 points only, not too many number of points, 2 to 3 points only. Okay, let's move on to the points here. Static blocks. Static blocks. Right, so the very first point. Static block is a set of instructions. Static block is a set of instructions. It will be recognized and executed automatically at the time of loading the respective class bytecode to the memory. Static block is a set of instructions. It will be recognized and executed automatically at the time of loading the respective class bytecode to the memory. This is the meaning of static block. Then what is the syntax of the static block actually? Later I will provide to you. Understand this point here. Next one is static blocks are not allowing instance members. Static blocks are not allowing the current class instance members. But if you want to access instance members inside the static block, then what we have to do there? Inside the static block, then we must create an object for the respective class, and we have to use the generated reference variable. We have to use the generated reference variable. That's it. Only the other 2 points here we can understand. And one other point here. Static blocks are not allowing. Static blocks are not allowing this keyword in its implementation. Right, sir. Then what is the syntax of the static block? If you have to this static keyword open and closed. Instructions. Static keyword, then where a set of instructions. That's it. Now this is about like what there the static block content here what we are getting. Understand the points here what I have given there. Static block is a set of instructions. It will be recognized and executed automatically at the time of loading the respective class bytecode to the memory. Static blocks are not allowing current class instance members. If you want to access instance members inside the static block, then we must create an object for the respective class and we have to use the generated reference variable. Static blocks are not allowing this keyword in its implementation. That's it. On the basis of this, we are going to see an example. Observe carefully. Right, now I want to remove this class K. For example, I'll take a class A, insert this class K static block. System.out.println of SBA. Now here A small a is equal to new A. When I'm creating object for class A, now when I'm creating object for class A, first JVM has to load A class byte code or not? First JVM has to load A class byte code to the memory. When JVM is loading A class byte code to the memory, automatically static block will be executed. By the execution of this static block, automatically we are able to get output is what there? SBA is an output here we are getting. What is that output we are getting there? SBA. Okay. Now here, understand this point clearly. SBA is an output we are getting just at the time of loading the byte code. See, if we take this like what I'm telling you, constructor. Now here, constructor will be executed at what time here? No, at the time of creating object. Acon. So what is that output we are going to get? No. First up, byte code loading. Next one is what there? Object creation. SBA byte code loading. Acon is what there? Object creation. Of course, my concept is not related to this flow of execution, but my point is what there about the static block. See this one. Now, int I is equal to 10. I variable is what variable actually? Instance variable. Now let me use that instance variable here. System.out.println of I. Now here we are getting error or not? Then definitely here we are getting what there? Error. Okay, leave this one. It is not possible here now. But still my requirement is what there? I want to access I variable. If you want to access I variable inside the static block, what we have to do now? If you want to access I variable inside the static block, what we have to do there? A small a is equal to new a. System.out.println of a dot I. System.out.println of a dot I. Again here we are getting output is what there? 10. This is an alternative we have to identify. Next one is, for example, static int j is equal to 20. Static int j is equal to 20. Now system.out.println of j. System.out.println of j. No error we are getting. Why we are not getting an error here? Why we are not getting error here? Why? Because j variable is what variable? No, static variable. Okay, fine. Next one is after this. System.out.println of this dot j. Error we are getting. This dot j. Error we are getting. Why sir? Why we are getting error here? Why? Because this keyword is not allowed in the body of the static block. Now here we are getting what there? Compilation error. Okay, that's it. Now let me execute these points here. So these are the outputs here. We are getting SBA 10 and 20. These are the data. These are the values here we are getting from this particular program. Right. So now let me take this program here. Right, sir. Now this is overall information about like what there static blocks, not more than this. Overall static keyword related data here we completed. Static variables, static methods, and what next one here now? Static blocks. This is sufficient about the static keyword. Listen carefully. I'm going to give information to you where I'm going to use the static keyword in JDBC. Up to now we have discussed about static keywords. I said to you the static keyword is required in JDBC. As per that only we understood up to now. But what is its requirement in JDBC? At least one point. Before going to start the JDBC class, I said it is a prerequisite, no? But how it is a prerequisite? At least one point I want to know. Listen carefully. JDBC, Java Database Connectivity. In JDBC, to provide mapping between Java application and database, we are going to use a driver software. What software we are going to use? No, driver software. In JDBC applications, we have to make ready the driver software. To make ready the driver software, what we have to do there? We need to load the driver class bytecode to the memory. Driver is a class in Java, in JDBC. The driver class we have to load to the memory. What is the requirement to load this driver class bytecode to the memory? In order to execute a static block. What is the requirement to execute a static block inside the JDBC? In order to execute a method like driver manager.register driver method. What is the requirement to execute this register driver method? To make available the driver software between Java application and database. So to make available the driver software between Java application and database, internally we have to execute driver manager.register driver method. To execute this particular instruction, we are going to take a static block inside the driver class. When we have a static block, to execute this static block only, we are loading the driver class bytecode to the memory. When we load driver class bytecode to the memory, static block will be executed. Part of the static block, driver manager.register driver method will be executed. Automatically, register driver method will be executed from the driver manager. With this particular one only, the driver is available in between Java application and database. So where static block information is required or not? Static block is loaded and executing its content at the time of loading class bytecode. That information here I have to provide or not? That's why I have discussed about like what there static block at present now. Point number one. Next one is when we load driver class bytecode to the memory, automatically static block will be executed. Part of the static block there is a method call. What is that method called now? Driver manager dot register driver method. What is the method called here? Driver manager dot register driver method. So that register driver method we are calling by using a class name driver manager. That register driver method we are accessing by using what there? Driver manager class. Now tell me, in Java J2E applications, when it is possible to access a method by using its class name? When it is possible to access a method by using its class name, now tell me. Whenever that method is declared as what? Static method. Then only we can access that static method. Then only we can access that method by using what keyword now? Static keyword. Is it clear? All of you are getting clarity up to you? No response. Fine. Right, sir. Next point here. After completion of these points, no. This is a requirement of the static keyword inside the JDBC. That's why I discussed it with leave this point here clearly. Next one is after that. Yeah. Listen, all of you listen carefully. Next one is what there? Class dot for name method. Class dot for name method. Put more concentration. Consider the following program. In object orientation, I might be discussing this topic for some of you. For some of you, we are waiting for completing this topic also. But anyway, I'm going to give some clarity. Try to understand it now. Consider the following program. I'm asking one question to all of you. Now try to answer for it. Class A. Now tell me, when a static block will be executed automatically? When a static block will be executed automatically? Come on. At the time of loading the respective class bytecode to the memory. Am I right or not? Static block. Inside this, what we have to write there? System.out.println of. Can I write it class loading? Yes, sir. Can I write class loading? Definitely, I can write class loading. Why? Because that intersection will be executed when the static block is executing. When the static block is executing, whenever we are loading class bytecode, then only static block is executing. So that I can write what there? Class loading. I'll take this constructor. Inside this constructor, can I write like what? Object creating? Can I write object creating? Why? Because at what time this constructor will be executed? Exactly at the time of creating object. Exactly at the time of creating what there object, what is going to be executed there? Constructor is going to be executed. Clear, sir? All of you are getting clarity up, All right. Now understand this point clearly. A small a is equal to new a. What I created here? Object I am creating. Object creation statement here I provided. Just only creating object. Now, if I run this program, if I execute this program, what output here we are able to get now? Tell me. First output is what there now? Tell me. Class loading, and second output is what there? Object creating. These two outputs here we are getting. Am I right or not? Why we are getting this output now? Tell me. Why we are getting this output? Whenever we are executing object creation statement, first JVM will load A class bytecode to the memory. By the time of loading A class bytecode to the memory, static block will be executed. After loading class bytecode, memory will be, that means object will be created in heap memory. While creating object for the heap memory, constructor will be executed. By the time we are getting output is what there? Object creating. Clear? Up to now it's clear, right? Okay, fine. Now let me execute this program. Right, sir. Class loading, object creating. Output here we are getting. Okay, fine. Consider the following program. Program is provided. Now output also here I am going to provide. Okay. Now the point here what I am telling to you, if we run the above program, JVM will load the respective class bytecode to the memory, and JVM will create an object. JVM will create an object for the loaded class. For the loaded class. Because of that reason only we are getting output is what there? Class loading. Then what next one here? Object creating. It's okay, fine. But I have a requirement. I have a requirement. What is my requirement here? I just want to load class bytecode to the memory. I don't want to create an object. Just I want to load class bytecode. That's sufficient for me. I don't require to create an object. One point in Java, creating object in Java applications is always increasing heaviness in our Java program. Creating objects is always increasing what their heavyweightness or heaviness inside the Java program. As much as possible, try to reduce the number of objects. Then automatically we are able to get what? Lightweightness in our program. If the program is heavyweight, performance will be down. If the program is lightweight, performance will be good. Still, Java is an object-oriented programming language. Every operation inside the Java is associated with objects only. That's okay, I agree that. But heavyweight or lightweight, if you want to think about it, creating number of objects is a factor. If you create number of objects or less, if you create less number of objects in Java program, the program is what there? Lightweight. If we create more number of objects in the same Java program, then that program is what there? Heavyweight. Okay, now here, whatever it may be, my requirement is what? I don't want to create objects for my class. Just I want to load class bytecode to the memory. That is sufficient for me. No need to create any object for my class. So for the sake of it, if I create an object, if I use this program, if I write this program as is, no, like here, if I write this program as is here, what we are doing there now, tell me, first of all, we are creating an object for the class or not? That means if we use this statement to perform this particular action, first a class bytecode will be loaded, after that only constructor will be executed. First a bytecode will be loaded, after that only constructor will be executed. That means object will be created, but object is creating automatically, internally. But my requirement is what? I don't want to create an object, just I want to load class bytecode to the memory. That's it. This is my requirement. Now the point what I'm telling to you, in Java applications, if you want to create, if you want to load a particular class bytecode to the memory without creating objects. If you want to load class bytecode to the memory without creating objects, then we have to use the following method from java.lang.class. You know already this point here. In Java, class is also a class. Java.lang.class is a class in Java. Java.lang.object is also a class in Java. Java.lang.class is also a class in Java. So in java.lang.class, there is a method. What is that method actually? Public static class for name of a string class name throws like, what is that exception here? Class not found exception. Class not found exception. That's it. Now tell me, all of you understand it clearly? What is the requirement of this class.forName method? What is the requirement of this forName method? In Java applications, no, points are very clear. In Java applications, if you want to load a particular class bytecode to the memory without creating object is not required in my application. Just only loading class bytecode is sufficient. If you want to load a particular class bytecode to the memory without creating object, there we have to use what method here? No, class.forName method. So the full syntax of this, full prototype of this particular method is what there? Public static class for name, string a class name, throws a class not found exception. That's it. All of you understand this point clearly? Now inside this program, in place of creating object, what I want to use there, I want to use class dot for name of. Observe carefully. Here we have to provide fully qualified name of the respective class. I want to load a class bytecode to the memory only. So I need to provide fully qualified name. Tell me, or all of you know, tell me what is fully qualified name of the respective class? What is fully qualified name of the class? No, package name dot class name. Please remember it. It's a surname with your name. Specifying your name along with surname. There's nothing but a fully qualified name. Right or not? Similarly, now I need to provide class A. I need to provide what there? Class A. That class is available in which package? No. Now here, observe carefully. Here we are getting packages what there? ABP01. Got it or not? ABP01 dot what we have to provide there? Class name. Got it or not? Of course, I want to change the package name. Sir. Now tell me. You want to tell me how I'm going to change this package name? Is it possible to change the package name? All right, sir. How we are going to change that package name? Now tell me. Now I don't require this module here. Now tell me here ABP01. In place of it, I want to change it. So what I have to do there? Right click on my package. Right click on package. Then what I have to open there? Come on. Refactor, not source. Refactor. Refactor we have to use. Then what next one here? Rename. Inside this rename, what we have to provide? We have to provide your package name. com.Durga software. There only I have written test class or not. So I'm going to write what there? Test. Test is a package. No. Click on OK button. That's finished. Right. Continue. Everywhere I want to change it. Now automatically the package name is changed. Right or not? Okay. Automatically we have to remember this kind of concepts now. All right, sir. Now I need to provide fully qualified name of the respective class. Now tell me, what is the fully qualified name for class here? Now tell me, what I have to provide there? Com dot. What next one? No. Durga soft dot. What next one here? No. Test dot A. We have to provide. Got it or not? But still we have some compilation error. Have you observed it? The point is what? Listen carefully. Why we are getting this error here? Observe carefully. What is the prototype of this for name method? Now tell me. Public static class for name string class name fully qualified name here I have given. Then what next one? Now tell me. If any method throws some exception by using throws keyword, there automatically exception is coming that we have to handle. In the main method we are calling for name method. This for name method throws out some exception, so we must handle it. There we have to handle it. How we are going to handle it? No, again I will discuss that point in the future. But the point is what? Time being, to handle this particular exception, what I'm going to do here, simple, inside my main method, I'm going to use what there, throws, what next one, no, exception. That's it, simple. That means this method is throwing an exception that I have to handle. For handling purpose, I've used what there, throws exception. Of course, by using try catch find, I can handle it, but not required immediately. In exception handling part, I will discuss with you now clearly. But now this is what exactly the point here I've given. Now observe carefully. Now class dot for name method here I've used there. Class dot for name method here I've used. What is the purpose of class dot for name method? Only loading class bytes code to the memory without creating object. Now loading class byte code in the sense, what is going to be executed? Only static block without executing what? Constructor. So if I run this program, what output we are expecting? Only what output we are expecting? Only class loading. Is it what output we are getting there? Only class loading. That's it. This is what exactly the purpose of what there, class dot for name method. All of you are getting my point clearly. What exactly the point you are discussing now? Are you getting the point clearly? Right. So now this is the syntax of this, a simple example for what there, like a class dot for name method information only to load a particular class byte code. Here we are using this class dot for name method. Okay, fine. Not yet completed, sir. We need to understand one more point. Observe carefully. Output here we are getting. But the point is what? All of you understand it, no? When we execute class dot for name method, JVM will perform the following actions internally. JVM will perform the following actions internally. All right, sir. What exactly the points? What exactly the actions it is able to perform internally? Observe carefully. I'm going to give some actions here. All of you understand it now? When we execute this particular statement, when JVM execute this class dot for name method, first of all, JVM will take the provided class name, its fully qualified name directly. What is that class name here? Com dot Durga soft dot what next one dot test dot a. Directly JVM will take its fully qualified name. After that, JVM will search for a dot class file at 3 locations. JVM will search for a dot class file at 3 locations. What are the 3 locations? No, current location, Java predefined library at the locations referred by class path environment variable. All of you get me point or not? First location is what there? Current location. Next one is what there? Java predefined library. Next one is what there? At the locations referred by class path environment variable. If the required a dot class file is not existed at all 3 locations, if a dot class file is not available, immediately JVM will raise an exception. What exception that JVM is able to raise? No, that exception is java.lang. Class not found exception. Java.lang. Class not found exception. In the case if a dot class file is identified at either of these 3 locations, immediately JVM will take the dot class file. JVM will load the dot class file content to the memory. JVM will load that A class bytes code to the memory. At the time of loading A class bytes code to the memory, static block will be executed. By the execution of the static block, automatically our required output here we are getting clearly. Yes, sir, got it or not? Just hold here. Not yet completed. When a class byte code was loaded to the memory, we know in Java there is a fundamental point. If any class byte code is loaded to the memory in the sense here it is what their method area. If any class byte code is loaded to the method area, automatically JVM will create java.lang.class object. Automatically JVM will create what there? Java.lang.class object. Java.lang.class object. In that java.lang.class object, what data will be stored? Metadata of the loaded class. In java.lang.class object, what data will be stored there? Metadata of the loaded class. What is that metadata of the loaded class there? name of the class, access modifiers of the class, superclass details, implemented interfaces details, all the declared variables metadata, all the declared constructors metadata, all the declared methods metadata, and so on and so on and so on. Everything about the loaded class will be maintained in the form of what? Java.lang.class object that will be created in heap memory. Then here we may have one question. So of course, always you are not getting any questions. I am getting question and I am giving answers for it again, right? No questions, right? What you are saying, sir, just as a movie, right? You are understanding a movie clearly, right? But you need to have a question now. Anyway, then I'm giving that question to you, try to understand it. At the time of introducing class.forName method, you said to me, this method can be used to load a particular class bytes code to the memory only without creating object. Means that we are not creating any object, that information you said to us. But now when it comes to the internal flow, what you said to me? First, JVM will take fully qualified name. JVM will search for its dot class file. If it is not identified, an exception will be raised. If it is available, it will be loaded to the memory. After loading the class bytecode to the memory, what you said to me? No, java.lang.class object will be created with the metadata or not. But initially you said to me no object is created. But now java.lang.class object is creating. No. Now we are saying that java.lang.class object is creating with the metadata of the class loaded class K. But initially you said to me no object is created here. There we have to recognize the point is what? What I said to you, consider the class A. For a class A, I want to load bytecode is sufficient. I don't want to create object for it. That is my requirement. So I don't want to create an object for class A. I don't want to create an object for class A. That's my requirement. But internally, when a class bytecode is loaded, automatically java.lang.class object will be created. That is minimum. Java.lang.class object will be created. That is minimum. If you load any class bytecode to the memory, java.lang.class object will be created. We can create class object. I don't have any problem. But you must not create which object? No, A class object. Sir, get me point or not? We must not create which class object? No, A class object. But internally, any number of class objects we can create. That is an internal concept. But I don't require which object? No, A class object. Class A object I don't require. But you can create internally class object for every class bytecode loading. So that's why we should not compare this and that respect to class A object. A class object is different. Java.lang.class object is different. Sir, got it or not? Now tell me. Finally, now tell me what is that internal flow of execution here? Once again, give confirmation to me. When JVM execute this particular instruction, what is going to be happen now? Tell me. First of all, JVM will take the provided class name. That is what their fully qualified name. JVM will search for the respective class dot class file. Where it will search for the respective dot class file at the current location at Java predefined library and at the locations referred by class path environment variable. If a dot class file is not existed in all the three locations, then what will happen? What JVM will do now? JVM will raise an exception. What is that exception there? Java.lang.class not found exception. In the case if a dot class file is available, then what JVM will do now? JVM will load the respective class bytecode to the memory or not? At the time of loading a class bytecode to the memory, what will happen there? Static block will be executed. By the execution of static block, what output we are getting? Class loading. That's over. That's completed. Then immediately, what is the next point here now? When a class bytecode is loaded in Java inside the method area, automatically which object will be created in heap memory? Java.lang.class object will be created in heap memory. In that Java.lang.class object, what data will be stored? Metadata of the loaded class. What is metadata of the loaded class? Name of the class, access modifiers of the class, superclass metadata, implemented interfaces metadata, all declared variables metadata, all declared constructors metadata, all declared methods metadata. Everything about the class A will be maintained inside the Java.lang.class object. That's it. Now this is the total flow of execution. All right, sir. Still I have a question now. Sir, why you are discussing this topic now? What is the relation with the JDBC? The class.forName method, what is the relation with the JDBC? Yes, definitely there is a relation. There is a relation here. Now try to understand it clearly. Observe carefully, all of you know. In JDBC, I need a driver to map Java to database and database to Java. To map Java to database and database to Java, I required what there? A driver. Driver is required. That's nice. Okay, how I'm going to activate the driver? How I'm going to activate the driver? Think of it not by creating object for a driver class. Driver is a class, we can understand it, but not by creating an object for the driver class. How we are going to activate the driver between Java application and database? No, just by loading driver class bytecode to the memory without creating object for a driver class. What's my requirement? No, loading driver class bytecode to the memory without creating object. In Java, if you want to load a class bytecode to the memory without creating object, then what we have to do? Come on, what method here we have to use? Definitely we have to use what there? Class.forName method. So in my JDBC application, as I want to load driver class bytecode to the memory without creating object, then what I have to use there? What instruction here I have to use there? Class.forName method here I have to use or not? Yeah, because of that reason only we are discussing this class.forName method. We cannot assume any JDBC program without class.forName method. Of course, alternatives are available for class.forName method, but in general, we are going to use class.forName method to load and register the driver. In JDBC, 5 steps are available. The very first step is what there? Load and register the driver. Load and register the driver. To perform this step, class.forName of driver class name we have to provide. JVM will load driver class bytecode to the memory. At the time of loading driver class bytecode to the memory, static block will be executed. Inside the static block, driver manager.register driver method will be executed. By that, my driver will be registered with the JDBC program. That's it. To understand that point here, we need to understand what the class.forName method. That's it. See, because of that reason only I selected this sequence of concepts now. Driver manager.register driver method. Driver manager is a class. Over it, we are calling register driver method. So register driver method is what method? Static method. I discussed about static method, how we are able to access it. Next one is what there? When this driver manager dot register driver method will be executed inside the static block. When static block will be executed at the time of loading driver class bytecode. Got my point or not? Static block also I discussed it with you clearly. After that, how we are going to load a driver class bytecode to the memory without creating object? By using what method? Class.forName method. Now we are discussing class.forName method. Yes, sir, got or not? Everything is related with what there? JDBC only. That's why we selected these concepts in the part of what there? Prerequisite. Got it or not? Okay. Right, sir. Remaining part is what there? I have to type the document. No. Tomorrow I will type the document. Tomorrow I will give one more time the total explanation. After that, I'll go for the document. After that, tomorrow, after completion of this new instance method, after completion of class.forName method, then we will start exception handling related content like throws, keyword, and what next one? Try catch finally. Try with resources. Up to that, I need to discuss that. Then after that, I'll go with what there? IO sims related content there. Dynamic input approaches. No, right? Right, sir. Thank you. That's all for today. We'll meet on tomorrow. Guys, just 1 minute. Google Classroom link I have not created so far. I think so. I'm able to give that classroom notes link, guys. Already created that classroom notes. Just guys, then if you want to get this classroom notes link there, just use this link. Just take this link. Thank you. Take this link, and through this link only we are able to access the classroom notes. Okay. Okay. This is advanced Java classroom notes. Just try to take it so that you are able to get the total classroom notes. Okay. A videos link our admin people will send you guys. Don't worry. Our admin people will send you. Then one by one already started sharing that links, videos to you. Maybe every day 50 members like that they are sharing. Then maybe within 1 or 2 days of time you are able to get a link details. Yeah, don't worry. Then introduction class only within 1 or 2 days of time we are able to. Everybody must get what that videos link. Yeah. Then meanwhile I will inquire about it with our admin people. Then they will share with you. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Then Google Classroom I think so I have not created. Oh, I will give that information later. No need to worry for it. Yeah, 1 minute. If you want to have discussion with our admin people there, better to use this number, guys. Online related discussion. If you want to get there, just directly you can talk with these people. This one. All right. 1 minute. I'll give these details to you at the top. Yeah. Anyway, then if you require any information here, just we can talk with this number. Where Nagendra is a concerned person, I will give clarity on it, whatever the questions you are having. Okay. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot. Google Classroom code I will share with you. Don't worry. Very soon. Thank you. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll meet on tomorrow.